Aligo and the road to Afghanistan. I object to violence because when it appears to do good, the good is only temporary, the evil it does is permanent. Mahatma Gandhi. There is a well known Igbo proverb that says, "A man who does not know where the rain began to beat him cannot say where he dried his body." The rain that beat Alaigo began in 2014 when the controversially embattled leader Nnamdi Kanu created the indigenous people of Biafra (IPOB). The primary objective of the group was the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra. Kanu's prominent grievance is that the Igbos are being marginalized in the national scheme of things. He operated from abroad with Radio Biafra, and his modus operandi involved making incendiary remarks and inciting his followers at home against the government of the day. The federal government charged security operatives to always keep their wits about them and not to be cowed in the face of intimidation, even as the movement gained momentum with street demonstrations. Most of Kanu's followers are disillusioned and frustrated youths with way too much energy in their hands, but little faith in the status quo. They have denounced their allegiance to Nigeria while putting absolute faith in their supreme leader, as Kanu is fondly called. They have put all hopes upon him to take them to their land of milk and honey. Kanu left his comfort zone in London to Nigeria to lead the charge from the front in October 2015 and was picked up immediately at the airport by the country's secret police. The arrest sparked more violent street protests and outrage from his followers. Kanu was subsequently charged with criminal conspiracy, intimidation, and membership of an illegal organization, and was thereafter remanded in Kuje prison. He spent more than a year in incarceration and was released in 2017 on bail. Kanu left prison and became more emboldened in his quest for the restoration of the sovereign state of Biafra. He defied nearly all the bail conditions and was making the 5 states in the southeastern region ungovernable for the governors. Kanu's name had not only become a household in the region but conferred upon him a status of being untouchable. Even his late parents could not reign him then. Such what kind of comment is that? So the last Igbo man to command such reverence was the great Ikemba Odumegwe Ojukwu of blessed memory. Miffed by his recalcitrant attitude towards constituted authority, the Nigerian military went after him through a sting operation. His house was raided and his whereabouts became unknown. Rumor carried it that he was killed in the raid. His ardent followers vowed to take up arms and retaliate if anything was to happen to their supreme leader. Some said he escaped through our porous borders to one of the neighboring African countries. Tensions fled. Some concerned citizens called on the government to declare a state of emergency in Abia State to forestall the impending danger. Cool. Obviously, this article is very much okay. Let me not give my opinion here, but the fact is, obviously, IPOB and Nnamdi Kanu are obviously made to be the biggest problem Nigeria has ever had. The tone of what has been said and written, which I read, makes it seem as though IPOB is the stumbling block for Nigeria's, retrogression. So I'm now like, okay, fine. This happened before, but then it's not like, what was the point? Because you're acting like as if, because he's saying, this person says the youth are frustrated, the youth that are following Nnamdi Kanu are frustrated, and they have too much energy on their hands. What a statement. And of course, it's just like, so who are you going to hold accountable? Because really and truly, They have every right to make an organization. They have every right to push for self-determination. They have every right to. When it comes to the violence, you can't lie that there has been manipulation. And of course, when you can't even protest in Nigeria as a citizen, let alone protesting for a cause. And then, of course, I mean, we've seen it with the NSAS protests. The protesters that are a peaceful protest because they are marching out and making their voices known. That is seen as violent. That is seen as very bold, very rebellious, and that is associated with violence. And then that's what is happening. You can't fault what can they actually do? It's not in their control. If the people decide Nnamdi Kanu is the supreme leader, in which you can argue, okay, fine, there's a lot of dependence and trust and hope on him that he's the one to lead them there, when really and truly it's a thing that they have to move as a unit together, in which we can't deny they are. But it's like, okay, fine. All these treatments, I don't know if it's out of jealousy, if it's out of, them feeling intimidated that, they cannot control what is happening, but you can't fault and you can't control the fact that the people love Nnamdi Kanu. They want him, they appreciate him, they respect him even more than the actual, verified not verified, but technically, it's questionable if they actually constituted authority. I'm talking about the government now, but the constituted authority of Nigeria is not as respected as much as Nnamdi Kanu. And it's obviously a slap in their face, because this man is literally outside the country and commands respect. He would say, do this, and they would do it. And so, of course, they have to be careful, because now they know that, okay, fine, it's not just Nnamdi Kanu, it's his followers. And, of course, now that he's been in custody of the DSS, I would think this is a positive thing in a way, because we will see what happens, but it's definitely a tactic of the government to disarm, to disable, to destroy IPOP entirely. And of course, having their leader in their custody and then with the excessive military presence in the southeast, yes, the government is up to something. And it's very much obvious that they are very much intimidated by IPOP and of course Nnamdi Kanu himself. With what he's gone through, still being confident with the amount of followers that he has, yeah, I don't know. Seems to be like some constituted authorities are jealous. And again, what can you do? It is what it is. Violence is never the answer. Of course, when it comes to these things, let's not even pretend like as if violence is not infiltrated on the other side for confusion and for the illusion that it's IPOP causing all of these. And yeah, so it is what it is. Does the government have a moral justification to talk about violence and who should not partake in such? I don't know about that. That is for you guys to argue. Who I think, and don't forget to like and subscribe.